It's like straight man.
We're talking about penises like straight men.
Straight man live talking about penises.
Straight men just dudes. Welcome back to Sex Monkey Dungeon. This is Chris Barrett.
And me.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the dungeon.
I should have peed before we did this.
Dude.
I should have peed before we did this.
You should have peed? You want to pee?
No, I'm just going to hold it in the entire time.
To pee.
I'm going to hold it in the entire fucking time.
Now's the time to pee, dude.
I'm on my best game when I got to piss.
Dude, I know you got a tiny wiener. That means you can hold your penis less. That's like I said hold your penis less, but hold your pee less.
Yeah, but I got it. People got it. Now that you brought it up, now it's weird.
Do you think that has something to do? Do you think it's more about your bladder? Or do you think it's about how long you're? Because I always imagine that your pee, when you have to pee, it gets stored in your penis.
Pee is stored in the balls.
And
it's
it's like a bottle that fills up. And then once your penis is full of piss, then you're like, I'm done. I gotta piss. And but like you get like a halfway point when your penis is half full, and you go, I think I might have to piss.
You train
but then when it's full, it's like overflowing penis full of piss.
It's an overflowing penis.
An overflowing penis full of piss. That's when you're like, oh fuck, I'm gonna piss my pants any second, because it's bubbling over, and it's like you can't hold the fucking floodgate shut anymore.
Because it's at the tip?
Yeah, it's filling up. It's filled up the full much. It's like you're at max capacity.
I don't think that's what...
Scientifically, it doesn't make sense, but if you didn't know anything about science, it makes sense. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, if you...
Like, I imagine if I hold my piss for so long and without breaking, it would just start swelling like a water balloon, my dick.
To your tip?
Know? You're just like ballooning, you're balloon cocking it.
Oh God, it's coming pee-pee time.
And then you slap it on your girlfriend's head, and it's just the worst water balloon ever. Just a fucking golden bomb.
I think I just train it by not pissing and holding it in longer.
Well, I must have a tiny penis because I have to piss all the time.
Well, it stretches your bladder, you dipshit.
Shut up. Stop being smart, guy. Okay, we get it. You were in the fucking...
Look how smart I am.
You were in the military. You know bladders and shit. You think you're better than me? No, dude. I don't know. I must have a tiny ass dick because every time I have to piss all the time. I have friends make fun of me when I go out with them. Yeah. I went on a date recently. She even commented like how many times I went to bed. She's like, you got a small bladder. And I was like, nah, I just got a tiny cock.
Just got a small wiener.
Actually got a real tiny penis.
You're a grower, not a shower.
I don't want to comment.
You're a grower, never shower.
Well, here's the bullshit about that whole argument. Every penis is a grower, so I don't like that argument.
No, from what I've heard, there's men out there where it's pretty much like half flaccid all times.
See, what I've always argued, I've told ladies, I'm like, I'm a grower and a shower. That's how good my dick is.
Which doesn't make any sense at all.
It does, because it's like, it's show worthy. But also, it doubles in size. It's like, that's not even, you think it's a shower. My penis is so nice, you think it's a shower, and then it grows a lot.
You're like, whoa.
Yeah.
You're like, oh my God.
Look at that fucking.
Look at those 4 inches coming at you.
Dude, right. It's a fucking Jaws 3D. Ha!
God. How typical is that men would be talking about their penises?
I mean, that's basically this whole podcast is us talking about our penises.
Being gay and having penises.
Oh, dude, that reminds me of something. So my brother pointed this out to me, and I've been meaning to tell you this, but I was waiting for this. Have you actually tried to search for our podcast?
No.
Okay. So my brother brought this up to me. If you go on YouTube to search up our podcast, you type in Sex Monkey Dungeon, you know what pops up?
What?
It's just a bunch of monkey porn.
Really? Yeah, dude. I think I like that, though.
And I did too. And I looked it up, and I was dying of. It's just monkeys fucking. It's just all monkeys, dude. One of the fucking, what do you call it? Clickbait. What are the fucking thumbnails?
Yeah.
One of the is a fucking monkey's hand on another monkey's cock, and it's like zoomed in, and there's cum dribbling out of his cock. That dude, I'm not even shitting you. The titles are
that
fucking
was an
insane.
accident.
The titles are insane because they can't say certain words on YouTube. So there's a lot of titles that says monkeys force mating. It's a lot of force mating.
A lot of force mating going around here,
dude. It's incredible. If you haven't,
I feel like walking in the alley, finding a woman and force mating myself.
I want to show you this so you can react to it.
Well, there's another thing that you got popping up on your stuff all the time that you wanted to describe.
We will talk about that, but wait just 1 second before we get off this. Look, sex.
I'm not gonna get off it. I'm gonna stay on
You're gonna
this.
get
I'm
on
gonna ride
it,
this
dude.
train all fucking night long. Well, the question is also what people might have is...
Okay, all right, wait. Sorry.
All right.
So SexMonkeyDungeon, right?
Yeah. With spaces.
Click it in. I did. So top one for me, but then you just go down. Dude, start scrolling. Yeah, that's a monkey fucking a dog. That's a monkey fucking a monkey while a baby monkey's like playing with his tank.
Asshole.
This one's really funny. This is two monkeys fucking, and then one of their kids comes up and starts playing with his nose because it's one of those penis monkey noses.
Get away.
You know those monkeys that have like those dick noses?
Yeah.
But yeah.
They look like
That one looks hot. That one actually
You
looks...
watched that one.
Yeah, I watched a lot of these. I watched a lot of them. They're good videos. Baboon crossing, monkey mating, sex, love, funny. This one, OMG, ... force mating monkey, cry out loud, hardest 6 ever.
What the fuck?
This is what you get if you look up our podcast. Look at this. Wild mating of gorillas, little monkey watching them. Dude, cucking is natural. We found out cucking is natural.
You hear that, you fucking haters out there, you Christ cucks?
Cucking is natural, but it's fucking weird still.
It's still weird.
Killing your child is natural in the animal kingdom. It doesn't make it right.
Still a little weird.
Because my cousin,
Still a little weird.
My cousin used to own sugar gliders. And
Sugar gliders?
Yeah.
What are those?
They're like these little fucking rodent things that fly.
Ah, okay.
They
I know
got,
what
like,
you're talking
you
about.
know,
They're like squirrel
They
kind
don't
of
fly, but they
flying
glide.
squirrel.
You know,
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Those.
So she had those, and then she got a male and a female, and they ended up reproducing, and they had a kid. And she's like, "Oh, this is so cool. This is my babysitter girl, my closest cousin. Shout out, Caitlin. Sorry to put you on the spot like this.
On this podcast.
Yeah, that fucking will ruin your name." But she had them, and then this one time she told me like fucking they had this baby and it was around for a while, and then she goes to the cage one day, and she's there, and the fucking baby is dead in the cage, and she doesn't know which one of them ate its fucking eyes out of its head. Like didn't even kill it, like killed it. That's like the word, like devoured its eyes out of its skull. But that's
Try
like the
not to
animal
laugh, I'm
animal
trying to look
kingdom,
sad.
dude. I don't want to be like that. Animal kingdom ain't woke, dude.
No.
They sense something wrong with a child, and they're like, better kill it.
Like that one's autistic. Eat it.
Yeah, exactly. Eat its eyes.
That's how we got our 2 cats. The mom left them in the field.
Oh, yeah.
So
That's not even...
we
No,
found
they
them,
might
took
just
them.
kill them.
Well, there's
'Cause I
definitely
had
something wrong with them.
Well,
Yeah.
I had a cat that gave birth, and she smothered one of her babies.
Oh shit.
She just full on smothered it, dude. I walked up one day, I'm like, checking on the kittens, and then it's like you just see one in the crease of the bed, and she was laying on it, and I had to move her, and there's one just in the crease, and it was
So she purposely did that.
I have to imagine, because she didn't move it, because a lot of the time they'll, like other times I've seen, like, because some of them just die, you know, like,
Yeah.
they might have like a birth defect and they die in the first fucking few days.
Yeah.
'Cause, like, and she would take those ones and she would like move them, like she'd take them behind the dryer and just drop the dead body and then go back, kind of thing, and we'd find like, oh, there's a fucking dead kitten behind the fucking
Sad.
dryer. But this one was molded into it, and I fucking had to pull it out.
Oh,
dude, it
was
took,
hard.
It became it was hard, but it also took the shape of it being mashed and smushed. So it was like it was in a triangle shape. It was in a fucking triangle shape.
Triangle cat.
And this was at the same time that my mom's cat died.
Yeah.
So I was already there to pick up my mom's dead cat to go bury it.
You had another cat.
And then I grabbed that one and I just threw it in the sack with it. And fucking,
Like, how many fucking cats we gotta bury here?
I had to do a fucking mass burial of cats. Now I know what the Germans felt like, dude. That's a lot on your conscience.
That's a lot.
You really have to believe in a cause.
I'll tell you what. I probably cried more for my dead cat.
I'd
than
even
I
just
cried
think
for
about
anything.
this till now, that my ex's place, my mom's cat, and my fucking cat's kitten are buried in the back of that fucking place. I don't live there anymore. So one day some kid's gonna be playing out in the dirt, or someone's gonna try
Digging.
to like, dig up a gas line.
Daddy, I'm gonna dig to China.
You do that, son.
And he
He's
just
digging.
finds my fucking cat.
Daddy, I found a dinosaur bones.
And he just finds his.
Yeah, I like to believe that she hated me so much that as soon as we broke up and then I moved out, she just dug it up and threw it over the fence. She
like,
fucking shit.
now.
She used it as fucking toilet paper and whipped my mom's dead cat's body. That reminds me, dude, my friend has the funniest story about when his cat died, which is not funny, but it is funny because
Cat's
of the
dying
story.
is not funny.
It's not funny, but his story is hilarious.
But his story is hilarious.
Shout out Josh. Great fucking story. So what happened is he was living with his parents at the time. He's like early 20s, right?
Yeah.
And he's
a young boy.
He worked third shift, so he'd come home at like 6 in the morning. And they lived like kind of out in the country, so it was like on this long, like 55-mile-per-hour road. And he told me he's pulling up to his house, and his cat, as he's pulling up, he just sees his cat twitch out in front of that house, just fucking like something ran over like pavement.
Like a cartoon style?
Yeah, like it's just like a fucking tire track to the middle of it kind of thing, and it's all flattened out. And he said he parks his car, he gets out, he looks at it, he's just so upset, and he grabs it by the tail and picks it up. He goes, it was stiff, and he just took it and just whipped it into the ditch by their house. And he's like, and then he walked inside and just collapsed on the floor and cried. But I love it. He said he picked up, he just screamed like, and he couldn't handle looking at it anymore, but he wanted to take care of it. So he just whipped it into this fucking like river ditch sewer system.
Like a frisbee, basically?
No, dude, like he underchucked it because he held it by the tail. So he fucking hucked it like sideways, and it just goes out into this fucking reed-filled ditch. And then he ran to the house. He walked to the house, and he collapsed on the floor and started crying. And when he told me that story, I was supposed to be a friend. I'm like, oh, dude, sorry. But when he told me that story, died laughing. He died laughing in his face. But he has the same dark sense of humor as me, where he's like, it is funny.
So he gets it. He gets it's funny, but at the same time, sorry about your loss.
Yeah, well, tragedy plus time. Yeah. But also, tragedy plus time equals comedy. But if you're a sociopath, you don't even need the time.
Yeah, it's just immediately.
Just tragedy is comedy.
Like, look at the way the dude's eyeballs are popping out.
Oh, dude, we're cooking right now, man. Yeah. We're coming out the gate, dude. Dead cats. This might be the best episode ever. Monkeys fucking dogs and forced mating.
So the question that I know that people are going to have, is it a dungeon full of sex monkeys, or is it a dungeon that has monkeys in it that people go to have sex with?
See, I think it's very much the end of this is how I describe it. It's the end of The Sopranos.
So after Tony gets shot,
it's kind of whatever you think the ending is, you know? We're leaving. It's so creative. It's up to the viewer to decide what happened. Like, it's a smart name where you get to kind of create up what you want to happen.
All right. So
were you a Sopranos guy?
I never was until about a couple of years ago.
So have you watched the whole thing?
I've watched it. I'm currently watching it.
I don't know if this is a hot take. It's probably a very basic take. Like, I don't know. I don't watch the fucking YouTube videos. But if you talk about that fucking season, there's the guy, like when like Tony dies at the end of it. Well, he doesn't die. It just ends when the fucking thing happens.
Yeah, so you don't know if he got killed.
He did, though. In my opinion, I think it's pretty fucking clear what happened because
lights out.
Well, they talk about the members only jacket guy that they kill.
Yeah.
And then while you're watching that scene, there's a guy who comes into the members only jacket and walks past them and goes to the bathroom. And then earlier in that season or the season before, they do the hit where the guy goes into the bathroom and the gun's in the toilet already.
Yeah.
And he comes out and shoots him. And then earlier in that season, they're talking about what it's like to be whacked.
Yeah.
They go, what do you think it's like to be whacked? They're like,
it just lights out.
It's just lights out and dark. So I think it is that his daughter was entering the place, but that was the same point. The guy just walked up behind him. He didn't see him coming. Wow. Shot him in the back of the head, and he just goes dark. So I think it is that he just got whacked. I like a lot of people talk shit about the ending, but I also I think it's actually pretty clear what happened.
Well, how the hell?
And I also think it's very poetic because of that was like Tony's last moment. Is that he hears the bell ring, looks up to see if it's his daughter because they're all trying to fucking get together to get the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
And that's when he gets fucking whacked.
Right. It's people are just stupid. Like, how else are you gonna end that fucking show? Like, are you gonna show him go to jail? Or are you gonna like the only way to end that show was him getting whacked?
Well, it's like I do think people are stupid because there's another movie I really love. It Comes at Night. Have you ever seen that?
I don't know if I saw that.
It's an A24 movie. It's all about like there's a disease going around. It's not zombies, but it's this very infectious disease
like
And it came out
chlamydia.
like a year before COVID, so that was like a weird one. I rewatched it during COVID, but it's like basically like it's a death sentence. It's like the next plague. Like once you, it's
Okay.
very infectious. Once you get it, you're just fucking basically dead, and it's very easy to get infected
Trying
by
to
it.
think if I
so
remember
like it's
seeing
all
it.
about this family that are just like locked up in this cabin in the woods, and they've been surviving just solely because they've isolated.
Okay.
But if you don't want spoilers, fast forward a little bit. But the movie ends that they took in this family and they didn't know if they're infected, and then they don't know and they kick them out, blah, blah, blah. But the end of the movie is that their son is definitely infected, but they don't kick him out. And then at the end of the movie is their son, I think, is in the bedroom sick, and him and his wife, like the two main characters, the couple, is just them sitting down at the kitchen table at the end, and they just look at each other. And then it ends, and people are like, "Oh, it didn't have an ending." I'm like, "No, it did. Like the ending is that they're dead. They're fucked.
Yeah.
Like we're not going to abandon our son, but we're also fucking.
There's no point in existing without our son.
Well, it's
too.
also like we're never going to abandon our son. We're going to like be there for his dying days, so we're going to die.
Yeah, we're gonna get
Yeah,
infected.
we're we're gonna get infected and die, and it's
Yeah.
kind of like this glum moment where they're just sitting there and they realize like, oh yeah, we're dying.
Yeah.
Like he's guaranteed to be dead, but we're not gonna abandon him. We're not gonna throw him out and just like he's our son. We're not gonna abandon him, but also like taking in the moment of like we're dead. Like we are dead. Like they like it's like they look in each other's eyes and like this is the end of us.
This is over.
Yeah. And
Well,
then
that's
I
like-
feel like it's a good ending. And
Well,
then
yeah.
but then I meet like dumb people, and I
Well,
won't
people-
say their names. I have friends and family that'd be like, "The fucking movie didn't even end." It's like, no, it did. Like, do you not get?
If you're not
do you not
stupid, it
understand
ended
like the
perfectly.
It ended exactly like their circumstances were made. You don't need to see them die.
Right.
You know they're gonna die, and it ends better with just them like. The ending of the movie is them going like, "We're fucking dead," and they don't have to say it because you can just tell by the gloom on their
Yeah.
face and the way they just sit down together.
Well, that's what happens with a lot of movies nowadays, is that they just ram the plot down your throat, and there's no subplot, there's no like foreshadowing, there's nothing for you to think about.
There's no subtlety.
There's nothing for you to think about. There's no. The bad guy is the bad guy. The good guy is the good guy. Have we talked about this already before?
I have no idea. It might be. This sounds like a thing I would get.
The bad
mad
guy
about.
is the bad guy. The good guy is the good guy. There's no redeeming factors for the good guy. The good guy is absolutely good, and that's it. But before, in movies, you could see yourself in the good guy. You could see yourself in the bad guy. You can almost understand why they became that way.
Well, even sometimes, like I fucking God, I don't know where it was. I heard I got in this big Quentin Tarantino fucking drop for a while,
oh boy!
and Tarantino was talking
So
about.
you're into feet,
Yeah, no, I love him.
little ball of feet.
No, but he was talking about, and I never thought about this before, because you think of like the '80s, and like a lot of people look back at this like that was when men were men, and like no one was offended. But then I heard Quentin Tarantino talk about movies, and he said movies in the '80s is like one of the worst era of movies because of. He even said because of political correctness.
Yeah.
And that's such a weird thing to think about the 80s, because a lot of people that grew up in the 80s think that like now people are politically correct. He's like, 80s movies are like the most politically correct movies of all time, because it's all just like there's no moral dilemma of the character.
Yeah.
Where in the 70s you had these very complex characters that did bad shit, but you were just on the ride of who they were and their character.
Yeah.
That it doesn't mean like they were great people always. But when you get in the 80s, everyone is just these morally justified superheroes, essentially.
Yeah.
Even if it wasn't a superhero movie, like those weren't popular at the time, but like every 80s action movies were huge at the time, and they're all just these morally correct people that have nothing wrong with them. And even the things they do have wrong with them, he's talking about fucking Bill Murray movies,
Yeah.
and about like how like you like this guy because he's an asshole. But by the end of the movie, it's about him not becoming an asshole. But the whole reason you liked him was because he was an asshole.
Yeah. And then
And then at the end
So
of the
it
movie,
is
he's
kind
no
of-
longer even the guy you grew to like throughout the movie. He's now he has
Yeah,
to
that
go through some
sucks.
moral change to be a better guy.
that sucks.
That's why I like. I fucking love movies where it's just like there's no. I mean, as much
Have
as
you ever
Game
seen
of
the movie
Thrones-
Bully?
No, but I know you want to.
Yeah, you have to fucking watch it, because there is no there is no them. I mean,
Because that's
telling
real
you.
fucking life. There's really no good guys and bad guys. There's different variations of good and bad, and people are good and bad in different situations.
There's people that choose to make bad choices.
But there's also like you're circumstantially good and bad in every decision, because like I think any real human being has made bad choices and has been the bad person. And they've also made good choices where they're like a good person.
Right.
But like we've all made evil choices.
Yeah.
No one's pure heart. No one's Jesus.
I mean,
all right, we need to cut this out.
there's
This got
people
way
out
too
there-
serious.
there's people out
this is
there
such
that
an
are
insane
uploading-
shift. We started talking about monkey, and now we're talking
I
about
was
the
trying to bring it
morality
back,
of
but you
characters.
just broke. I was gonna bring it back in a big boom
Oh, okay, what was the big
to
boom?
there's people
the
uploading
boom. Here comes the boom.
People
Here
upload-
comes the. Y'all don't really want it now.
to people. There's people out there that upload videos of monkeys raping each other.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was gonna try to bring that in, but
Yeah.
it's fine. Don't matter. You know,
Oh, it's raining outside. You can hear the rain.
I can hear the rain. I go to
Oh,
bed every night
now this is a
with the rain.
podcast you get to go to bed to.
You get
This
to
is
go
the
to sleep.
Sleepy Time podcast. Lay your head
Nobody
down.
loves you. Everybody hates you.
Lay your head down. No, in 20 years, no one will remember anything you did. you will be nothing in the history of time.
This is ASMR.
Once you die, you will be slowly forgotten about very quickly. That actually fucking genuinely just reminds me about how I went to Motor City Comic Con.
Yeah.
Okay, do you know George Wendt?
No.
George Wendt was Norm in Cheers.
Okay.
And Cheers, one of the biggest sitcoms of all time.
Yeah.
I think that's a fair. So you're like thinking, okay, Norm's at this. I'm just gonna call him Norm because it's easier. Norm's at this Comic Con, right? Probably big line, right?
Yeah.
No, there's no one there to see Norm, dude. There's no one fucking there to see Norm. And he's so old and he looks so sickly. Like he looks like he's about to die every day. And I walked by him and I felt more pity than I have for homeless people, because there's a deeper sorrow when I looked at him. Because this is a guy, right? If you look at him, like when Cheers was on and he's Norm, right?
Yeah.
This guy couldn't walk into a bar or a restaurant without somebody, even if you could say it was shitty, someone would probably be like, "Hey, Norm." You know,
he
like
used to get his dick sucked by two women at the same time, snorting coke in the bathroom.
Well, yeah,
fucking
but even outside of
killer
that,
dude.
like he could not go into a bar without someone doing, "Hey, Norm."
And-
you know, because
and
that's
it
like
was
the
like,
whole
Come
bit.
on, quit it.
Yeah,
Cut it out.
'cause
I'm
when
sick
he-
and tired of
that
this
was
shit.
his whole
I
thing.
can't go anywhere
When
without
he-
these fucking people.
Yeah, he walks into Cheers, they go, "Hey, Norm." But then you're watching him sit there, and I did this, dude. I wasn't even drunk. I didn't take mushrooms. I didn't fucking smoke weed. I'm just a big empath. And I was sitting there, I'm like, do you know how fucking sad this is? This is a man, and you could tell he's got a couple years left at most. This guy's
Yeah.
dying. He looked terrible. And you go, this was a man that at one point was a huge celebrity.
Yeah.
And now no one gives a fuck about him.
Yeah,
and
it's
most
sad.
of Comic-Con is a bunch of like fucking very like new age people. you know?
Popular.
Not even that, just like you see a bunch of new age young people. So you like not like trying to shit on, but you see people that are very much like playing with like their hair color, which is like probably crazy for a guy that like girls and guys that have all these crazy hair colors. They're playing these outrageous sexual costumes. You see a bunch of transgender people. You see a bunch of people that I don't want to assume, but they seem, very like, just all different walks
Fluid.
of life, fluid kind of things, non-binary, where it's like that. And then he's gonna watch them walk by his booth. So there's a time where he was a celebrity, and then you'd think if you do this huge like sitcom as some kind of artist or entertainer, you're like, I've made my staple. I have a legacy that will have me be remembered
Forever.
And then you're at this fucking place and you just see all these young people walking by you like you're nobody, a loser, and nothing, so that you're about to die. And even before you die, you realize I haven't even died yet and I've already been forgotten about. And that was like the thing. I was like, it was the most depressing fucking thing to see, because I'm like, this guy's literally seeing, he goes, I've already been forgotten and I'm not even dead.
Did
Like,
you talk to him?
No, I couldn't.
You didn't walk up to him and go,
Well, first off,
You should do it.
First off, I didn't want to spend $40 to fucking do that.
you should do it.
No, he probably has fucking kids, dude. Like, because I saw fucking, there's another guy there,
The
Lex.
kids will be fine without you.
No,
you
this is
should
the
do it.
fucked up part. I saw Lex Luger there, which is an old school wrestler. He
Yeah.
used to be like super jacked, roided out guy, like about as big as Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
And he's there, and he now has like fucking like all these health issues. He's wheelchair bound. Oh. He's lost all of his muscle mass because of disease. So he's just this decrepit guy, and there's no one there to see him. And you also know that the only reason he's doing it is probably to pay for his medical
He needs
bills.
money. Yeah.
and I couldn't even look at him. It was so fucking sad. He's sitting there by himself with some guy, and he's in a wheelchair, and you're just like, dude, that's the saddest fucking life I've ever seen.
Should have picked him up and bodies.
That's worse. But I know, right? I'm not gonna
Put him out of his fucking misery.
I don't give a fuck about Lex Luger that
He would
much.
at least die.
Well, to be fair, I don't even think Lex Luger was a great wrestler. I think he
Die in the
kinda
ring.
sucked, but
He died in the ring.
I was never really a Lex Luger fan.
Fucking body slammed him and
But-
stood up and been like, yeah!
But I was like looking at that, I'm like, that's worse than never making it.
True.
Because this was a guy that used to like main event shows in sold out arenas.
Yeah, and you
And
had
then-
you had this
And now
huge
and you were like this sexy, like you were a hunk, like you were doing like covers of magazines because of how, I mean, he was definitely roided out. So I mean, you can do whatever. But like, you go back and look at him, he's like, the guy was a fucking like, he's insanely jacked. Like he looked like an action figure, and now he's just this decrepit old man in a wheelchair, and people are walking him by, and you just like that. I think is worse than never making it. Is seeing that you've already been forgotten, and you're at death's door. Because
So-
you're like, once I die, that's only gonna get worse. Like, you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
like I think that's like anyone who
you get your day like when you
Yeah.
die, you get your like
You get your
week
yeah.
or whatever, where they're like
But you're like,
famous.
but you're like, if they don't give a fuck about me now, I think a year after I dead, I'm not even a trivia question. You know what I mean? Like, you're not even a fucking trivia question.
Not even like when they're trying to make a hard question for
and
the
that's,
quiz.
like, honestly, that's why I kind of was like mad at the youth, and I was like, I should have probably went up to him, but it also made me mad at the youth there because I was like, you have no idea, and it's like not their fault, but it's also like, this is like an insane elderly abuse that I was like, you know what I mean? Like just watching people, and it's like they have zero respect for this guy. And
So-
I at least I didn't go up because it was just I should have. Actually, if I was a better person, I would have went up there and pretended like I was a fan, but I didn't have the extra money to just like, because I didn't want to go up there and just talk and not
Waste
buy.
money.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
not even that.
feel
Like,
bad for this
well,
guy.
I think I'd feel worse if I went up to him and not gave him money.
right. You
But
just
then it's
walked
like
up
now
and
they're
been-
like homeless celebrities essentially. You know, I don't want to talk to you unless I give you money.
So what you're saying is
But also, you're like, I want to talk to you because you look so sad. And it like, honestly, I don't even know if the money would make you feel better right now as much as it would just, as you saw that people
Gave him a hug.
Not even that, just like someone who goes, hey, Cheers is one of my favorite TV shows of all time. Your character is so great. I love watching it. Thank you so much for all you did. Like, I think almost that would have made more than, that would have
Paying
meant
money.
more than money.
yeah. So what you're saying?
But I didn't have the courage to do that.
So
because
you're
also, because I'd hate to go up there and you say that, and they go, yeah, but you gonna buy something? You go, well, I don't like you that much. I
It's like no,
don't like you $40 worth, but you know.
I felt bad for you actually.
Yeah,
that would be worse.
But isn't that insane? Like, they're technically celebrities. I'm a fucking nobody, and I was pitying them.
yeah.
That's a sad life.
So what you're saying is that when you get famous, once you start feeling that decline, you need to do something like infamous, like fucking run over a parade full of people, so that
Yeah.
you'll be stapled in there. Like what's his fucking face who shot and killed his family? Like
I-
we're never gonna forget that guy,
You can't remember his name.
Chris Benoit.
Chris Benoit didn't fucking shoot his family in the face.
Did he strangle him or what did he do?
Yeah, no, what he did is he smothered them all.
Oh shit!
He smothered his wife and two of his kids, and he left a Bible next to their bed. and then
Sorry to laugh about that.
autoironically fucked it, like choked himself out on a Bowflex machine.
God damn.
And which is hilarious because I actually a couple years ago for my friend's birthday, I got him a Metallica shirt, you know, the Ride the Lightning shirt.
Yeah.
By Metallica, but instead of saying Metallica Ride the Lightning and having the electric chair, it said Benoit and had a Bowflex, and it said Ride the Bowflex.
But yeah, so you're saying that that's what you got to do? Like go
I
out
don't
that
even
way?
know because like he's scrubbed from the history of WWE. I don't think there's a correct answer. I think the real lesson to learn is that how popular you get, there's only like 10 people from every decade that become like that they're
Remembered and move on to the next.
like in the like historically, like Michael Jackson's like a guy that will always be remembered,
Right.
You know?
Jordan,
but there's
shit
so
like
many
that.
Jordan, but most of the others are going to get forgotten about, and they'll slowly be
They
forgotten
will
about.
eventually get forgotten about. You're right.
So like the chase of fame is so only we're getting philosophical on this one. Who knew we were going to talk about monkey sex and get philosophical? But the chase of fame is so shallow and short-lived that no matter what level of fame you get to, unless you get to the upper echelon,
And even
you'll
then,
be
it doesn't
forgotten
matter.
about. No, but those ones, like some people are remembered. Most people, they're not remembered.
Well, then
You
it
know,
doesn't
like-
matter.
Like I love. All right, let's say like who's like the first artist you ever bought an album for? Because I'll go for
Do I have
mine.
to tell you?
Well, yeah, we will. We'll go
I
back
got
to your sounds embarrassing. Let me go.
I got Green Day Dookie was my first album.
Okay, Green Day. Now, Green Day is a good one because actually I will think Green Day will probably go down in the history books just because they were like the first punk band that they were like pop punky,
Yeah.
and they kind of established a whole genre. They're very influential. Like they're gonna be like there's this generation's version. And I'm not saying there's good, so don't fucking get mad at me. But like there's this generation's version of a fucking like Rolling Stones or some shit like
Right,
that.
yeah.
If you like them or not, like they're gonna be like one of those bands that was huge. You know what I
Right.
mean? That will be remembered. My first was 50 Cent. Get Rich or Die Trying.
That's great.
And I think 50 Cent's like probably my favorite rapper of all time. But he's already kind of getting forgotten about by the younger culture.
Yeah.
I think there's people like he can do a tour and he sells well right now, but it's all older people. I don't think younger people. So I'm like, I think he's not going to be remembered.
No.
In the annals of history. In the annals of history.
And the annals of history.
Yeah.
50 Cent will not be remembered.
No. So it's like, and that guy, I think, is a huge celebrity. He was like one of the biggest guys.
So so just do as much as you can, have as much fun as you can while you can.
No, I think I'm saying
And then who gives a
the
fuck?
pursuit of fame
Is
recognition
futile.
is futile and shallow, and it evaporates.
Right. In the pursuit of it, you make yourself even more gay.
Yeah, no, you're super gay.
You know what I mean?
Every famous person's gay.
So no,
Let's see,
I mean
Freddie
every
Mercury-
famous
Freddie
person's
Mercury's
gay.
as hell.
Well, I meant like if you try.
I'm saying 50 Cent's not getting a fucking blockbuster movie. Is what I'm trying to say.
He had his movie already, but
well, he's
nobody
been
watched
in
it.
movies,
Yeah,
and he deserves it. He's got good stories. He's been shot. Fucking, he got shot 9 times.
it's better than Eminem's story.
Dude, he got
Just-
shot 9. Yeah, it's way better. He got shot 9 times and then made Candy Shop. Like that's fucking crazy, dude. Imagine getting
I'll let
shot
you lick
9
the
times,
lollipop.
living, and then making a fucking absolute banger like Candy Shop.
His whole "Get Rich or Die Trying" CD.
That's the best. That's my favorite rap album
I would
of all
listen
time.
to it on repeat while I
Yeah.
was mowing lawns.
First album I ever owned.
Amazing. Every
It's
song,
incredible.
Every fucking song, I was in it. And
It's
that's my go-to. That's
might
when
be
I
a hot-
say
It says it might be a hot take. That's the greatest rap album. Now, if we bring mixtapes in there, I think there's mixtapes that are better than that.
Yeah.
But if you go actual album releases, best fucking rap album of all time is 50 Cent's "Get Rich or Die Trying."
I don't know about that one.
What's your fucking counter argument?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Give me a counter argument.
Can't think of it right now. Best rap album?
So you can't, dude. You can't even think of one. That means it's the best.
Well, I just can't think of the fucking names
Well, it's
because
because you're
retarded.
racist and you don't like rap, dude.
I'm not racist. I used to fucking listen to 3-6 and fucking shit like that.
Fucking the only,
I
other,
started
the only
up-
other one I'd put up there, Biggie's "Ready to Die." That's a fucking great album.
That's close. No, but dude, I think it was also the moment and just what was going on and everything that was just like the zeitgeist hit with that fucking album. You know what I mean? Like everything combined perfectly at that moment. That was like the perfect moment for that album to come out. And the fact that every single fucking song on there you can listen to.
It's a
There was
banger.
not a fucking song where you're like, not this one.
Well, that's
Click it.
that's the good. I always argue that's the idea of a great album. It's not if like
It's not
it
the
has
hits on it.
It's not like these are like 3 of my favorite songs on it. It's the ability to listen to it from start to finish without hitting skip.
right.
And that's an album. There's a difference between having great singles and having a great album.
Well, fuck, dude. Then I'd have to say like Green Day Dookie. I could listen to the whole album.
We're talking about rap.
I know, but I was just saying when I go back to it and think about it, I'm like, okay, Green Day Dookie. I was kind of embarrassed, but it was actually a pretty fucking good album.
Fucking Rage Against the Machine's self-titled album, their original, is fucking a banger of
Yeah.
an album. I would say Siamese Dream by Smashing Pumpkins.
And Gish.
And actually, I'm fucking,
and Melancholy. Well, I
And
could
Zeitgeist.
I
Or
could actually
Zeitgeist.
listen.
The Zeitgeist.
It is Zeitgeist.
Yeah, I know. But when I was dumb, when I was younger, I used to call it Zeitgeist
Zeitgeist.
because I didn't know what that word was.
Oh, I want to see cute little Drew going around going, I want to listen to Zeitgeist. I want to suck Billy Corgan's cock.
Deftones Around the Fur.
Around the Fur too. Well, Deftones.
Korn's self-titled album.
Oh yeah, that one too.
That one fucking ripped.
Even though you would think normally Chutes and Ladders and shit like that, you'd be like, this is fucking lame. No, it was like, this is awesome.
Pixies Doolittle.
I haven't heard that one.
Oh, it's so good.
I haven't heard it.
It's a fucking fantastic
I
album.
have not heard it.
Sonic Youth's Daydream Nation. Foo Fighters, but it's not the one everyone's gonna think. It's actually Foo Fighters' Wasting Light. I'm just naming albums I like. This is a podcast. I just name albums I love.
The first album.
No, it's not the first
I
album.
bought the first album.
It's a good
and
album.
I could listen to the whole album.
That's
all
not
the way
their
through.
best. Their best album is like what 2000. I want to say 2008, 2009.
Kyle's gonna fight you on this one. Right?
Wasting Light. Wasting Light is their best album by far.
What's the hits on that one?
Fucking Bridges Burning. One of These days.
Okay.
I know. I almost
I was
just
in
listened to it
fucking-
as the fucking full album, so it's hard to.
I was in
fucking think of it.
land at the time.
Arlandria is on that album. White Limo. I don't know. I listened to it mostly as the album. Like it's one of those things I just fucking throw on.
The problem with that too, I think, is depending on where you are in life and shit like that. Like Billy Corgan's album that he made, I listened to that whole entire thing and I liked it. And if I go back and think about it now, I'm like, a lot of these songs are fucking mid. You know what I mean?
They are, but there's some good ones on there, dude.
Yeah, there
What's
are.
your
But
favorite one on there?
I don't know. What is it? Change. All Things Change, or is that the name of the song? I don't remember the names of shit. All things change, never round.
You want me to pull it up
Never
right now?
sure.
Dude, you want to know something
what is
funny?
love.
I had the
I was in Iraq
I
at the
had
time, dude, when I got that fucking album.
I had the poster of that album in my room growing up, and it's just Billy Corgan against a white background with his hands up like this. But then you also see all his gross birthmarks he has all over his hands because he has these weird fucking birthmarks. Let me see if I can find it now. All right. Well, come on. Hold on one second. Fill some noise while I look up Billy Corgan solo.
Filling up noise. Here we go. I kind of like the fact that we did the Sex Monkey ASMR. Yeah. That was pretty good.
Okay, so
you're laying in your bed right now.
all right. So let's look
Are
up
you
the
wearing
Future
socks?
Embrace track listing.
Yeah.
All Things Change. Yes, that is number one.
Are you?
But that was not my favorite. My favorite was The Camera Eye.
That was good too. Yeah.
And then
I like fucking Oceania.
To Love Somebody
So go
apparently
fuck
was the
yourself.
single off of that. I don't even remember that being the single.
I liked Oceania, and you can go fuck
See,
yourself.
I did not like that.
You can go fuck yourself.
The whole
Violet
this became
Rays-
a Smashing Pumpkins podcast.
Violet fucking
It's
Rays.
fine. It is.
It's
fine.
not fucking fine.
It's fine.
The movement of the bass and the guitar, and then the way the drums and everything come in. I know you don't like it because the drummer is not fucking Jimmy.
Also, I was
and he's
also very jealous
super
of that
mid.
drummer.
Yeah.
Do you know the story behind the drummer for that album?
Yeah, he was a big fan, and he got to try out, and he got
Well,
fucking.
they did open tryouts
Yeah.
for it, and it was a fucking 19-year-old kid. So he's like,
Yeah.
So I was just jealous of him, and he was hot. He was a hot kid that was
Anyway,
19.
so that song starts off with.
It's a fine album.
And then
But my favorite part about Smashing Pumpkins is not Billy Corgan.
Faithless, what? Crawling up your arms
Stop it.
from
Stop it.
rivers I have
Stop it.
crossed.
This is the first time I think I've ever heard someone sing Smashing Pumpkins and been like, shut the fuck up.
God lost. And then he goes, I need anyone. And then everything comes in. This night.
Shut up.
Come on, it's
fine.
it's not fucking.
It's fine.
This is what breaks us
This
up?
might break us up, dude. Smashing Pumpkins without Jimmy Chamberlain is kind of just a solo album.
Okay, if it was a solo album and not Smashing Pumpkins,
I would like it more.
your autism is preventing you from
Yeah.
liking that song. Well, that song.
Well, there was like a big period where Smashing Pumpkins was just Billy Corgan's solo work, but he just was using Smashing Pumpkins.
It's just
Which
using
I
the fucking
was
name.
against his whole thing.
It's fine. Jimmy's back now. You can relax.
See his new TV show, Billy Corgan's.
I have not seen it yet.
I haven't watched it
This
yet
is
either.
the
But you know how
this is the
excited I
Smashing
am.
Pumpkins
Was it
version of this.
Billy Corgan's Adventures in Carneyland? And it's about smashing pumpkins and wrestling. Dude, I've never seen a show so autistically fabricated by the simulation for me than that show. They're like, hey, do you like smashing pumpkins? I'm like, uh-huh. And they're like, do you like wrestling? I go, uh-huh. They're like, you want to see them both together? I went, I just came. Like,
Do you want to fuck Billy Corgan, but you're not gay?
I did used to say, I'm like, dude, I'd let Billy Corgan fuck me, and it wasn't even a sexual thing.
Have you ever had a dream about meeting
him? Did I
him?
ever tell you I met Billy Corgan?
I know you said you as a kid, right? You met him?
Yeah, we were out. We went and saw. It was the 20th anniversary tour, so they're celebrating. It was called the 20 Years of Sadness tour.
Yeah,
which is so fucking cool that they called it that. But we went and saw it. We had to drive down. My cousin, shout out Caitlin again. My cousin, the greatest person of all time, took me all my greatest cousin, dude. Took me all the wrestling events, took me to Smashing Pumpkins concerts. She drove me, my brother, and my brother's friend all the way down to Cleveland. I mean, she had to have been early 20s at the time. I imagine she might have been like 21. I don't fucking know our exact age difference or exactly how old I was. I was really young. I was like, it was for one of my birthdays. I think it might have been my 12th birthday or 11th birthday.
yeah.
We fucking all drove down there in her fucking, beat 'em up car because she's like a young kid. She took us all the way down there. We watched the whole show. It was fucking incredible. And then afterwards, like when you're younger, it's not creepy when you go around back to wait for people.
Yeah.
Because I've met a lot of people, because when you're a kid, when people like see kids doing it, it's not like, oh, this is a fucking weird guy. Because I remember the age when I did it and I realized I was weird. Like, you know what I mean? But when you're a kid, they're like, oh, look at this kid. Like, I met I met Dave Grohl because of that.
Yeah, he's
after a Foo Fighters
cool, right?
Well, it's like when they see a kid, they go, this is really special for this kid.
And it's so cool that they're young and
Yeah.
it's like they're getting into it.
Yeah.
And I get to be that band for them.
There's also an innocence to children. You also know how much more special it is for this kid.
Yeah.
They'll talk about this story, years later when they're a loser on some dumb podcast. They'll still be talking about it. But we tried to wait back. And we're like, oh, he's not coming out. We finally give up and we're like walking away. And there's just this fucking van on the side of the road. And there's these people talking outside of it next to the venue. And we're all just walking back, kind of like, we didn't get to meet him. And I just go, and I'm the one who knows, I go, that's Billy Corgan. And it was Billy. He was sitting in front of like a little van, and it was apparently like the van that the band was that was going to get taken over to their hotel. And he was sitting out front. And he had this small circle of people in front of him, and I was like, "That's Billy Corgan." And we just walked up, and I just went, "Hi, Billy," and he went, "Hi. Did you enjoy the show?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Thank you so much for coming out." It fucking stayed in my mind forever, dude. He was so nice to me. That was the only dialogue we had. And I was like, I walked away. I'm like, he's the fucking coolest guy I've ever met.
That's what I'm always afraid. Like, if I ever met him and then he's
Now
just a
if I met
fucking
him-
piece of shit.
No, he was super nice. Now, if I met him, I don't know what he's like. It seems like, at least from my experience, he was very appreciative of his fans because it was just there wasn't a shit ton. This was actually kind of when they were not. Because they're back
Kind
to
of a lull.
They were in a lull because they're back to doing big arenas. They were doing like smaller theaters at this time.
Yeah.
Like the Fillmore level of like fucking theater size. So I don't think they're that big. So I don't know if he'd be different now or whatever. But like he just had like a small gathering of fans around him. He'd talk to him. I think he's not enough of a narcissist. Because I do think he is. Like, I love the guy, but I think he's a narcissist to the point where he's like, he just enjoyed people like kind of praising him and wanting to listen to what he
I'm
has
gonna
to say.
jack off later thinking about all of you
Yeah,
just wanting to be near me.
Yeah. Have you ever seen the fucking video on their last tour where he's fucking, everyone was making fun of him because everyone was making fun of Billy being fat now? And then someone took the video, I think it was him in Cleveland. You can look the video up. And he's on stage, he does a guitar solo, and he stops, and it's like a break with his drum break, and he just walks off to the side, and there's fucking cheese dip and chips. He just starts eating. He eats them on stage, and then he goes back. He has a snack of his cheese.
It's like, I need a little snack
Dude,
between songs.
I fucking loved that video so much. I'm like, dude, that's so don't give a fuck. Like, you're just so depressed. You're just like, I just need some cheese and chips right now. You're performing in front of like an arena of
Some
people.
fucking 7-Eleven nachos.
Yeah, dude, it was like a bowl of cheese dip and like tortilla chips. And you see him like dip the chips in and eat.
Can you imagine that's how far you've gotten in your career that you don't give a fuck that much?
Yeah.
That you're You're like, I think I'm gonna eat some fucking Tostitos chips with some salsa chip.
I imagine
salsa.
it was cheese. I imagine
Cheese and salsa.
I imagine it was a queso.
mix.
I just,
and just.
one
That's
of my
how
favorite
little
videos.
you give a fuck.
Top favorite band videos is that, and then have you ever seen fucking The Cure? You can look this up, all you people out there. The Cure when they're getting inducted into the Hall of Fame. The
I
Rock and
haven't
Roll Hall
seen
of Fame.
that.
One of my
No.
favorite videos. So it's like they have like this standard like preppy kind of like, you know, young beautiful woman that does like the interview kind of things.
Yeah.
And like really like high energy. So it's like they're walking on the red carpet, and then the girl for it, she walks up to him. She goes, "Robert Smith, are you as excited as me about getting inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?" And he goes, "By the sound of it, no." That's The Cure in a fucking like, that is the greatest
The
representation
essence of The Cure.
Yeah, he goes, "By the sound of it, no."
No.
Like he's like just like uncomfortable with how excited and happy she is. As a
Jesus.
because I'm too gloomy for
Where
this.
the fuck did this woman come
Yeah,
from?
right.
Jesus Christ.
And he's just scratching. He goes, "By the sound of it, no." It's one of my favorite videos.
There's something about that not giving a fuck at the same time, but being loved, but not giving a fuck at the same time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you'll never know what that's like.
I'll never know what that's like.
You give too much of a fuck about your family,
Yeah.
loser.
I should just
Move.
leave.
Yeah, dude, get out of here.
Should just get in my car and drive to
You guys
Florida.
didn't appreciate me while I was around.
Start a new family.
It is wild that people do that fucking double family shit.
I don't think they do it anymore, man. They ain't got that cash anymore.
I don't even think it's the cash thing. I think it's just because of social media and all that shit. You can't hide it as well. Now with
It'd be like,
the way,
why don't you have a Facebook profile?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's why when people tell me that they're not on Facebook that much, I get kind of I'm like, why? What are you hiding? What's going on? You know what I mean?
What the fuck voice is that?
What are you hiding?
What are you hiding?
It's getting into almost the
what
fucking
is
Pet
that?
Cemetery guy again.
Yeah, that's it. What are you hiding? It's almost a little Buffalo Billy too.
You're a little big fat lady.
What are you hiding?
What are you hiding?
Is there a penis between your legs?
Kind of want to go back to ASMR.
Yeah.
Are you wearing socks in your bed right now? Do you wear it?
This is the most ASMR. Are you wet right now?
Yeah, let's do 10 minutes of us breathing into the fucking microphone.
Shut up. Are you wet and hard for me right now? I'm so fucking hard and wet for you. My asshole is gaping just thinking about you.
My asshole self-lubricates.
It self-lubricates with my penis juices.
My penis. I jerk off into my hand. And I put the cum in my own butt.
Oh, my asshole's so moist right now.
So that my cum lubricates your dick so you can make more cum.
I think I'm just nervous and I'm sweating, but my asshole is moist. It's so moist. It's ready for you to slip in. I want you to slip in. Are you a big boy? Are you a big strong boy?
I want you to push in there until you get a turd.
Are you a strong lady? Are you a big muscle mommy? Are you a big muscle mommy? You want to teach me a lesson? Oh, I'm thinking about your giant strap on.
Your clitoris is so large I could suck on it.
I want to bite a pillow while you hit me from the back.
Oh, put on one of those big old strap-ons and just smack me around a little bit.
Don't wash your pussy for a week and then make me eat it.
Wipe from back to front for an entire week.
I want to eat shit out of your pussy.
I want to eat some other man's cum out of your pussy.
Oh my god, I want to watch you fuck a guy. And I want to watch you fuck a guy who's bigger than me. And then I want you to point at me and say I'm a loser. And then let him creep by you. I want him to creep by you. And then I want you to say, clean up the mess, little boy. And then I come over and I go, and I go, mommy, did I good job? Mommy, did I do good job? Did I clean up all the frosting? And you go, boy, you get to, you're a good boy, you get to lick the ball. If you're a good boy, you get to lick the ball.
I'm gonna take that cage off so you
Dude,
can
that's
go
the number one. I think we just figured out the number one thing after you cuck a guy and the
You
guy
make him lick
cream
the ball.
pies. You go, while he's fucking you, you keep looking him dead in the eyes. You go, if you're good, you get to lick the bowl.
High five.
You get to lick the bowl.
You high five the dude. You got to.
And then afterwards you go, Mommy, was that good? Mama,
No, I think
was that good? Can I lick the bowl?
I think peak cuck is you're driving the dude home after. You're just sitting there listening. You're like, mind if I turn on the radio? He's like, no, it's
Dude,
cool.
did I ever-
just fucked your wife?
Did I ever tell you about the story about
Listen to whatever you want, bro.
the cucking I missed out on?
Yeah.
No, the
but
one
you
I
didn't
missed,
say
the
it
one
on
I
here. You
missed.
didn't say it on here.
Have I told you? Okay, but I don't think I have told you this story. So it's like, so I'm at this bar, and I just meet this new couple that's moved into town. They're really cool. And
Drew's at a bar.
yeah, okay. That's how all most of my stories start. So, and I'm hanging out with this couple that just moved to my town. And
They just moved to the town.
stop it.
Okay, I'm trying to annoy you. Obviously,
I know.
it's working.
So they just
love
moved
it.
to the town. And they're like trying to meet people and shit like that. And she's fucking weird out the get go. You know, she's like wearing spiky shit, but I'm into that. And she's like talking to me up. And then she introduced me. I'm like, oh, I think this girl might like me. Blah, blah, blah. And then like fucking, I find out she goes, oh, well, this is my husband. And she meets you. And I talk to him. I'm not that mad because like I
forgot we had it. I
I'm
made the
not
noise with
worried,
morning.
dude. I don't mind having.
I'm just
not
adding to the story.
I
I'm
know.
trying to. Sorry.
No, I'm just saying. Like,
I'm sorry.
Shut up.
So sorry.
So, you know, fucking, I'm not that bummed out. I'm like, and he seems cool. He plays music and shit. So I'm like, nice, all right.
He plays music.
And then, like, you know, we're fucking whatever. That night doesn't, you know, we meet each other. But then she messaged me and she starts telling me about how she's in this polyamorous relationship and like she thinks I'm hot. And I'm like, cool. Like, you know, well, fucking maybe next time I see you. Right. So next time I see them, they're drinking at the bar and I meet them and they're fucking drinking. And then like at one point they come up to me and they're like, hey, we're kind of drunk. Can you give us a ride home? I'm like, yeah, no problem. Like I'm good. Like I had like a couple drinks that night, but like the thing they didn't realize was that I was already talking to a girl that night, and I was gonna go home with her. So when we go to leave, I'm like, all right, let's go. And then this other girl gets in the car, and they realize I'm just gonna drop them off at home, or mostly the woman.
Oh,
Right?
they're sad.
No, she gets very upset about the whole situation. Like she doesn't say anything, but you can just tell by her personality she's being very short and fucking shitty. And like,
It's up here.
yeah, exactly. And then she's like up here, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to turn left. She goes, you know what? You can just stop here, or we can walk the rest of the way.
Yeah, we're gonna walk.
She goes,
shame.
Yeah,
the rest
so
of the way.
they get out of the car. He doesn't say a thing. She said that, and they both get out of the car and they walk. And it's raining out. It's fucking raining out, dude. And then I have to drive, but then the way they walked was the same way. It was like a one way, but they were going on the other. So I come back around on the other side of the one way, and I see them walking through the rain, and she's walking ahead of him, and he's walking behind, and they look upset, and they're walking through the rain. And I was just thinking, I'm like, dude, if you're a dude in a relationship, how much does it suck when your lady's upset? But imagine that you're going home after a night out and your lady's upset and you're like, I'm sorry, babe, that guy didn't fuck you. like your lady's upset that another guy
You
didn't
almost
fuck
got
her.
him.
Yeah, dude, like that. I'm like, that is the worst fucking life I
That's
can.
worse than cucking him.
Yeah, it is. I usually think it's
That's
worse
like-
that he has to like deal with her now being in a shitty mood
Yeah.
because I didn't fuck her.
And then he knows if
And then
she
he's
does
like,
have
"But-"
sex with her, that she's just like, I just need.
Yeah.
I got horny. I need to.
Dude, that is the worst life I've ever seen in my entire life. I saw that and I went, God, if God was real, he'd strike this man with a lightning bolt as he walked right now. And
Put him
killed
out of his fucking
That
misery.
is the worst. Like, because everyone knows, and it doesn't even have to be a girl thing. If you're in a relationship and you're seeing others in a fucking bad mood, it sucks.
Yeah.
And it's like, you're like, hey, what do we do? They're like, no, I'm fine. Like, it's like one of those when you're like, you fucking suck right now, but I love you, so I have to kind of deal with this. And also, like, have to hang out with you while you have to, like, can't push it, otherwise you're going to get more mad.
And you spent the
But
entire
also, I
night
can't, doing
trying to
nice thing.
help your significant other fuck somebody else.
Yeah.
And it failed.
Yeah.
And now you're walking home in the fucking rain. You've got
And
sad
she's
music
pissed
playing
off.
in your fucking head. She's super pissed.
Yeah.
You're walking behind her. And then the dude drives by with another chick and it's just like, beep, beep.
Yeah. I should have honked. Dude, I felt too much.
Have a good night.
I felt too much pity. Like in that moment, I was like, dude, that is like the worst. I'm like, honestly, dude, if I ever live that life, like if that somehow some shit goes wrong and I start living that life, as a friend, I'm asking you, blow my fucking brains out. Like walk up behind me and just shoot me in the fucking skull.
In the fucking the lower part of your skull to make
take
sure
me
you
out,
take
dude.
away all brain function.
Because when they say
the
there's fates worse than death, I think
That's
a
one of
fate
them?
worse than death is having to deal and trying to make your girlfriend feel better because another guy wouldn't fuck her. That sounds like the worst. Because trying to make your significant other feel better when they're in a shitty mood is already a fucking
Horrible
horrible
nightmare.
fucking, you're like, God damn it, but I care about them and want to be happy, and you have to like deal with it. And, like, you're not fucking upset, but you're like, and it's nothing even to do with you. So you're like, I just want to have a good time with you.
They get home and he's like looking through the phone. He's like, well, maybe what if I call this one guy?
Yeah,
he might come.
exactly.
He might fuck you.
She goes, no, it's ruined.
It's
like,
ruined now.
yeah.
If it was a real movie,
Which is like, guys, like that's like if like you go on a relationship and you like set up a reservation, the reservation gets canceled, and just fuck man, like, let's just go home.
yeah, I
And
don't
then
want to
you go-
even eat anymore.
Yeah, and then you go home. You're like, what if I?
I'll
what if
just
I-
make toast.
Are you
at home.
sure? Like, what if I got us like some DoorDash? Like, I know you like fucking,
No.
Five Guys. Let's get done.
No.
She goes, no, I'm fine. I'm good. It's like you have to do that
Like
with
a child.
You have to do that with other men's penises. That is the fucking. Because I don't even like doing the first one. That first one sucks.
Yeah.
But you do that to someone because you love them. Again, it doesn't have to go one way, but like if someone gets pissed off, you have to do that in a relationship. Imagine if but you had to do that with trying to get someone else to fuck your significant other. That wasn't you.
And in his mind,
Oh my
in
God.
his mind, as he's walking, he's thinking in like movie terms. He's like, "Oh, he's coming back. Maybe he's gonna get out, and then he's just gonna go up to my wife, and he's gonna grab her, and he's gonna embrace her. He's gonna fuck her right here on the street."
Yeah.
And then I'm just gonna sit there and watch and smile. You know, like, can you imagine that in a movie?
And I'm not against. Yeah, I get it, but I also want to say I'm not against cucking dudes.
Yeah, me neither.
I've done it before. I'll do it
No,
again.
I meant like,
I'll do it
wait,
again.
Wait. I was,
No, I'm not gonna get cucked. I'll do the
I'm not
cucking.
shaming.
No, I'm not shaming you. That's not my
But
thing.
it's not my thing. Yeah.
But I'm into the other part of it.
Being the bull,
I've done that rules.
being the fucking bull.
Fucking rule. I'm not even trying to brag. I've done it. Like, it's awesome. It is cool. I'll do it again if someone wants me to. Like, I'm totally down. That shit's fucking awesome. The thing with her that gave red flags is that, like, one of the nights when I saw her before this whole situation happened, she was hammered and she was outside. And we were talking about, like, how she's homeschooled. And then we were talking, and then like after that, I'm like, that must be weird, like being homeschooled, especially like when you're like, I was like, especially when you're blossoming, you know, like, because a lot of people like, you know, you like when you're like becoming that puberty age and like you're attracted to other people,
Yeah.
and then like, but the only like you're not around other people because you're homeschooled. And she was like, well, you know, it's actually not that weird that a lot of people in homeschool actually end up experimenting with their siblings. And I was like, what? And she basically admitted like that she fucked her brother. Like, and she's like, yeah. She's like, oh yeah, kind of like. She basically just admits that she fucked her brother. She goes,
Just casually
but then-
between cigarette puffs.
yeah. And then she was like, basically like, no, it's pretty normal for like homeschool kids. So then when I met another one of my friends that does comedy and they were homeschooled, I'm like, did you fuck your brother? Because they tried to tell me that was normal. And
Like,
were they,
whoa,
is that
whoa.
true or were they lying? But also I could tell if you would lie right now to me. If
Right.
that is true.
That is fucked.
I know.
Just to
So
be
it's already there,
casually.
casually admit to incest, and not even step incest, because step incest kind of hot. That's
Casual incest.
full blood incest.
That sounds like a pretty cool name for a band. Casual Incest.
Yeah, it's a great metal band name.
Next up,
What do we got?
Casual Incest. We're almost done. We're getting pretty close.
That one flew by.
Yeah, well, we went all over the place this time.
Started
Getting
crazy,
some-
got philosophical, talked
Billy
about
Corgan,
music,
Smash
ended
Pumpkins.
with incest.
Yeah. Maybe we should end with some more of the.
That's technically ASMR, right?
He just burped in your face.
I just burped in your pussy. Queef it back into my face.
Queef your pussy.
I wanna burp in your pussy, and I want you to queef it back in my face.
Oh yeah, do it harder. Oh, fart came
What's
out
your
too.
opinion on the queef?
I don't know. I feel like if,
That's a fucking.
I feel
all
like
right.
if you're
Ooh, I guess you didn't want to get political, coward. You want to show your guns.
I don't want to be divisive, but
Keep talking. Let's do 5 more. Let's do
Fucking
a
if you're-
couple extra minutes on
I
this
feel
one.
like if you're-
I'm feeling cooking, dude. Let's do a couple extra. Let me.
I
pour
feel
it.
like if you're beefing and she's queefing, then you're good to go.
Shit, I'm spilling a little bit.
Know what I mean? Know what I mean?
Why am I
Who gives a shit about this table? Because you're retarded. I'm sorry.
No, I am.
I didn't mean to say retarded. I meant to say.
If you saw my dick, you'd be like, "God damn, that guy is retarded."
He's got that. He's got that.
He got that retard.
He's got that
dick.
tart strength, but in the dick.
He got that retard dick.
Like the movie Lawnmower Man.
Yeah.
She fucks the dude.
Dude, you know how fucking I love that short story by Stephen King, and it is nothing like the movie.
Yeah, but the movie's pretty fucking jamming too.
Wild, but it has nothing to do with it.
Doesn't matter.
Have you
It's
read the
still a
short
fucking
story?
Great movie. No, I have not read the short story.
Dude, the short story is that they hire a guy to mow their lawn, this guy, and he comes through and then he gets fully naked and he just starts eating all the grass very fast like a lawnmower. That is the fucking story in a nutshell, and it is bananas. It is full Stephen King, coked out of his fucking mind.
It's like, I'm gonna write a fucking book today.
But here's the thing. A lot of people, some of the shit he wrote when he was coked out, a lot of people are like, oh, it sucks, but it's also insane that he was able to write the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like, he wrote a whole short story about a guy who just gets fucking naked and eats a guy's lawn. And then there's like some kind of conspiracy behind. I don't remember. The most shocking thing I remember is like how descriptive he gets about this guy getting full butt naked, and he's looking out his back window and watching the guy just mow through it like a fucking like a cartoon
cow,
character,
like a sheep.
This is like the guy who's written the greatest fucking horror gothic novels of all time, and he just writes this fucking insane story.
So and I think that's
It's the
like
most insane story I've read by Stephen King. There's that, and he also wrote a story. I can't remember the name of the other one, where he wrote about the fucking monster, like these fucking leech monsters that come out of the toilet and kill you while you're taking a shit. And that's another like full blown cokehead fucking movie.
I feel like that's
book.
like the Nick Cage effect, where people are like, is he a good actor or a bad actor? Mm-hmm. Where they're like, Stephen King was so good with all this other stuff, then I'm dumb for not seeing why this is amazing. You know what I mean?
Right. It's amazing because it's still very well written. It's
Right.
just he's writing insanely well about the dumbest fucking thing you've ever, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's so, like, the premise is fucking stupid.
Yeah.
But he was so coked out during that time that he just thought of a dumb premise and he just goes, let it rip. And he
Yeah.
just would fucking be able to just do like
And that's why
30
people-
pages on that.
Yeah, and that's probably why people are like, no, it's brilliant. I don't know why yet, though. There's something behind it. There's some deeper meaning about
pretty sure
a naked man eating grass.
That is my favorite Stephen King book. Well, it's technically not a book. It's a collection of short stories. It's called Graveyard Shift. That's my favorite one because he also has this other bananas one about, it's like quitting. I can't remember. It's like it's not Thank You for Smoking or whatever, but it's Quitters Inc. or something like that. And it's all about this company. It's all about this guy who smokes cigarettes, and he finds out this company that helps you quit smoking cigarettes. And the whole thing they fucking do is that they just fucking like stalk the fuck out of you. That if you smoke a cigarette, like the first time you smoke a cigarette, like they cut one of your fingers off or some shit like that.
Shit.
And then it's like you only get so many ones, but like the third one is like they kill your spouse. like that's the fucking plot. And it's fucking really good. Like they torture you for one of them. Like I can't remember how many steps, but it's like it increasingly gets like any time, and like he keeps doing it.
Belly you.
He keeps pink belly. He keeps
Flashback.
like doing it because he's like, there's no way they could see it, but like they somehow have like this insane security fucking surveillance team that they find out every time when he hides. Like he goes into like a bathroom stall and just like hits a cigarette one time, and they find out about it and like
Torture his family.
and that's the whole thing is like it comes to the end and his fucking wife's in another room when they bring him back and like fucking gonna kill her now.
Like, you smoked a cigarette. It's time. Mm-hmm. Would that be a...
It's a fucking, I think it's pretty sure it's called Quitters Inc. It's another one of those like, it's such an insane premise, but he's such a good writer that it works.
I'm going to have to check that out.
Yeah. Graveyard Shift. He also did a whole fucking, I think the actual, I think the book is called Graveyard Shift and Other Stories because it's named after one about these guys that have to go in this factory to clear out this rat problem that work there, and they have a rat problem. But then they go down there, and it's basically like monster rats. Like this is insane infection. Like everyone just gets fucking eaten alive by rats in the basement. Like he was just a bunch of bonkers fucking stories.
There's something bigger about life, about that. It's not just a bunch of monster rats. He's making a point about the political parties in the United States.
Well, here's the thing. I go back and forth on Stephen King about that, because like I look at it. I think that's like Stephen King's It's a great book. And then during that book, like I look at Stephen King's Pennywise, the whole allegory about that book, to my opinion, because it's two parts. It's about when they're young, when they have to deal with Pennywise, and then later. And I think the whole allegory of that book is that trauma that happens to you when you're younger that you don't address when you become, it will haunt you at an older age. Like you can't escape this younger trauma, and it will haunt you. That's the allegory I think about. But then in that same fucking story, the main character, Bill, is all working at his fucking like college thing, and he talks about how he wrote this story about werewolves.
Yeah. Werewolves.
I said werewolves.
Werewolves.
Werewolves. It's werewolves. He writes a story about werewolves, and his fucking
werewolves.
His teacher's like, well, what's the meaning behind the werewolves? And he goes, there is no fucking meaning. It's just a story about werewolves. These people who get fucking haunted by werewolves. So he's like, he has the main character shit on the idea that everything has to be an allegory. So I don't know if that's the meaning of it, and maybe it's just supposed to be this odyssey about this fucking weird alien creature. But that's what I took away from it. It's just about younger trauma coming back to haunt you.
Right. It could have been. I think with that, he might have been
it. Like just moving out of this town and all this shit, this fucked up shit that happened to you when you're younger. It will still always be with you, and you can never escape it. And that's why one of the characters kills themselves.
Well, it makes sense, but like with that, I think it might be him just addressing it in like total, saying it doesn't always have to have it.
Yeah.
But there's definitely that theme there.
Well, because then you look at The Shining, and The Shining is just all about a guy getting over his alcoholism.
Right.
And that like it makes him evil, and like the demons of like at least in my opinion, like the outlook was kind of like the ghosts of his past, but they're more of like the demons of his addiction.
Yeah.
Kind of like melting him away to go back to this
Slowly
darker
melting,
side.
yeah.
And he fucking does.
Yeah. And then he fucking tries to kill his entire family.
Yes, but that's a different. Have you read the book?
No, I've
Here's
the mallet. Yeah,
well, that's not the big difference. The big difference why the book and the movie are so different, why people, well, especially Stephen King, hated the movie so much, is in the movie, Jack just goes full crazy, chases his family with the axe. In the book, Jack actually has a redemption arc. He comes to terms, and the boiler in the basement that's supposed to be managed is going to go off, and he stays down there to try to fix it while his family escapes, and he dies.
He dies trying to save them.
So he has a redemption arc, and that's his whole thing, that why he hated The Shining, even though The Shining is one of the greatest horror movies of all time. Right. It's a fucking incredible movie.
Well, it should be that way. But we talked about it on the other episode, the last episode.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't happen an hour and a half ago.
And I never told the stripper story, so I guess we'll say that for another time because we're out of time. I said I was going to, and I didn't.
Fuck, we're out of time.
Stripper prostitute story.
That gosh darn time.
Well, we got to end with something funny.
Well, this has been Sex Monkey Dungeon. If you look us up on YouTube, you can watch animals fucking.
I want to spread your ass apart and scream into your butthole. I want to scream all my secrets in your butthole. So they're hidden up there until I fuck your butt and you come out your ass, all my dirtiest secrets.
I think it's better if I want to whisper all my secrets.
Whisper them? I want to whisper my secrets into your butthole. I want them to get trapped in there and hide for a while, and then in a year's time, I want my penis to free those secrets.
I want those secrets all over my dick.
Dude, that's a funny idea. That's not a funny idea. Whispering your secrets into someone's pussy, and then they queef out your secrets. My dad touched me when I was younger.
Like, wow!
Oh!
From all of us here at Sex Monkey Dungeon, I've been Chris Barrett. This has been
me.
And we love you.
Peace.
Go watch some animals fuck.